Hello everybody, welcome to your live watch all of Hearts versus Fiorentina in Florence, Italy. Hopefully Hearts can get their first win of a good European campaign.
They have to be more aggressive in getting in contact with the opposition. They can't sit off and allow Fiorentina to find a rhythm in the game. Another key thing is that they can't gift opportunities and early goals to the opposition, because
so hopefully Hearts can go and get the job done, and hopefully we pray to go and do what we can do and go and get the 3 points today.
And they need to be more aggressive and get in contact with the opposition.
How does Robbie ensure, as a manager, that these players do have that confidence, knowing the facts that the Fiorentina players on paper, of course, have more money spent on them, they're better players?
Again, it's know your jobs. Before you go out, it's look at the board, be sure you're concentrated. I think there's going to be a lot of industry required tonight. That's why Devlin's on the side. Harry needs to be protective. But I believe that Hearts will need to score tonight, Connie, in order to take something from the game, because I do feel that Fiorentina will score themselves. So it's important that they get around Humphreys. Don't leave him isolated like Shankland was last week. Make sure that Forrest is getting there, Barry Mackay is lively in the game. And you never know. I mean, I said if they come back to Edinburgh,
then you do.
Robbie Nielsen and his staff will be absolutely delighted.
Then you do the same for your mental health. Then.
That level of excitement, Michael, but also the nerves, that mixture of it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at this stage,
then you do the same for your mental health.
There'll be, we were talking about this.
So if you can do it for your mental health, then I can do it for my disability. Then
Want to get the game started,
it can't be all right for one person, not for another.
Into the game, get feel for the game. You want to start to get the game underway.
Come on, Hearts! What?
Build up, but you want to just get the game started. You want the whistle to go, and you want to get in contact, get the first touch of the ball, put a tackle in or whatever. And that opening stage of the game is going to be very, very important for Hearts. They, as I said, and I just reiterate again, they cannot afford to stand off the.
Shake for the Hearts,
Comfortable in possession, good athleticism. Hearts have got to try and counter that, and if they don't, then they're going to be in big trouble.
Tell you what, if they get the concentration, Connie, of that wee guy,
but if you can do it for your mental health, then I can do it for my disability. It's a two-way street.
Thanks very much to Neil McCann and to Michael Stewart. Time to hand you over to your commentary team tonight. Stephen Craig.
God! We're Hearts now! Hearts! Come on, Jumbos! Come on, Jump Tots! Come on!
That result is of little significance to the Tynecastle team, who need to be considerably better than they were this time last week if they're to have any chance of getting something out of matchday 4 and keeping alive their hopes of extending this European adventure beyond the turn of the year. Shaping up as a massive match for both these teams. And it's a massive jumbo turnout in Stadio Artemio Franchi. I think 4,000 are rising in terms of numbers. So whatever Hearts can complain about tonight, they won't be short of vocal backing. And they've certainly been warming up their tonsils in the course of their trip to Tuscany.
Hearts! We're Hearts. This is what I'm saying. We're Jumpers. Hey! Hearts!
Robbie Nelson and Vincenzo Italiano was a bit shocked by what happened to his team on Monday night, and he wants a response tonight.
If you're accusing me of doing it, then don't do it to me then.
5 changes for Fiorentina to the team which lost heavily here to Lazio.
Oh, we are the Jambos! Oh, we are the Jambos!
Take over from Dodo and Martinez Quarta.
This is your lineup, folks.
In midfield, and Gonzalez preferred to Ikoria.
Oh, where's your lineups? I don't know.
Of this
Ah,
11
folks.
started
Ah,
Newcastle last Thursday.
here is your lineup. On your left is the Fiorentina lineup. On your right is the Hearts lineup. Let's hope Hearts can go and take some 3 points back to Scotland and back to Edinburgh.
Statement to Fiorentina's 12 substitutes. They have only 9. A couple of teenagers on the bench.
Go Hearts!
Injury suspension plays its part, as well as Snodgrass, of course, is not in the European setup, not in the squad. The officials are Croatia, and it is Ivan Bebek in the middle. Here's the referee. Cristiano Biraghi, the captain for Fiorentina. Craig Gordon in his usual place for Hearts. Robbie Nielsen leaves out the top scorer, Lawrence Shankland. No starting spot either for German midfielder Orestes Kimotsoglu. And Robert Snodgrass, as I said, doesn't make the European squad. So that's 3 changes to the team which rescued a point at Kilmarnock on Sunday with virtually the last kick of the game. Peter Hanning starts for the first time since match day 1. Cammy Devlin returns in the middle of a 2-game domestic suspension. And Stephen Humphreys replaces Shankland to make his first European start. And that's Barry Mackay. And Hearts hope he brings his best to this one. Luka Jovic scored goal number 3 at Tynecastle, having missed a hat-trick of chances before that. He has real quality. And Hearts don't need warned about what's facing them tonight based on what happened last week. Andy Halliday limped off at Rugby Park, but he's okay to play in this one. Maybe he just has to play.
The game is underway. Fiorentina versus Hearts. Let's go and get the 3 points, boys.
And as you've heard from Michael O'Neill in the studio and from Robbie Nielsen pre-match, looking for his team to be a whole lot more positive here rather than waiting for things to happen. That is Barry Mackay. This is the
Oh!
back of the post.
Oh!
And the follow-up is saved by Golini.
Hearts do score within the first 30 seconds, folks.
Seconds when that Humphreys shot rattled back off the post. Hearts have blasted out of the blocks.
Well, that should certainly give them plenty of encouragement. You know, last week we spoke about Amrabat dictating the game because he was unopposed for most of the game. Put under pressure early, tries to square a pass and gives it away. Hearts have to take encouragement from that. They have to gain energy.
That is a wow start to this game. And now comes the response from Fiorentina with Biraghi down that side. And you can see already the determination, the aggression, the positivity that Robbie Nielsen was demanding of his team. We've barely started, of course, and Hearts need to sustain this. So unlucky, Humphreys. Did everything right. Fraction away from beating Golini for the opening goal. Straight from kick-off. Biraghi to Jovic. Kouame.
That's not a foul.
Against Stephen Kingsley.
I think that's needless, Rob. Kouame's in a position, he's going away from goal. Just be patient, stand your ground. You don't need to go and force the ball out of play. Suddenly now Hearts have to defend a set play. One of the weaknesses and something that needed to improve dramatically from last Thursday at Tynecastle. Can they defend set plays a bit better? Peter Harry could be crucial.
It is the Italian international Biraghi to take the free kick for Fiorentina. It's a free header, it's a flashing header, and it's yet another top-class Craig Gordon save.
It's Kawami, isn't it? He won the free kick or drew the free kick, but just look at him in that near post area. Stephen Humphries is waving his arms about. He's looking for an offside decision. If someone goes past you and you're the first man, you've got to match the run. Someone's lost him. Once again, Craig Gordon, smart save, crisp. Just exactly how he wanted the game to start, Rob.
How on earth is Arsenal going 1-0 up there with Humphries? That's why it's just play him often, because it.
What Hart's done, he does another injury.
Oh no, Atkinson's down. Oh great.
And this looks like it could be a serious one early on for Robbie Nielsen and co.
Looks like. Oh, Civic's coming on. Ah, he's an alright replacement. Oh, his hamstring went. Oh, that's not good.
For his hamstring, possibly.
He's just pulled up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. The thing is, some of the players have been playing every minute of every game, and they've been carrying injuries, and they've been getting through games. He hasn't played a lot of football recently. Nathaniel Atkinson, of course, he played and scored at the weekend, but looks like a calf or Achilles possibly, which, for Robbie Nielsen's sake, he certainly hasn't had his troubles to seek. And it always continually seems to be defenders, Rob, who are falling by the wayside.
He hammered home that left footer with virtually the last kick at Rugby Park on Sunday. Nathaniel Atkinson to salvage a point for Hearts. They need him here, and it's looking highly unlikely that he's going to be able to continue. This was the pass.
Oh, it should be winning, man.
By Barry Mackay. So unlucky for Humphries. And then the follow-up effort was saved. Delaney actually did really well to get back onto his line to stop attempt number 2 going in. Well, he's maybe moving okay, is he, Atkinson? Hearts certainly want to be picking up better at this corner kick. Well, he's jogging across to the corner flag. Nathaniel Atkins, a big roar from the Hearts fans. Corner taken short now. Buragi plays it in.
Ah, 1-0 Fiorentina.
Hearts didn't enjoy the advantage for too long. It's Luka Jovic on the end of the Buragi cross. And again, he's just found too much room inside that penalty box from a Hearts point of view. And he buries the header in the corner. But it's gone as 1-1.
Yeah, and it was a recurring theme last Thursday night. It's Alex Cochran, isn't he? Anywhere near him. You can see Stephen Kingsley hugely frustrated. It's just a simple cross into the box. Jovic's movement is decent. He reacts to where the ball's coming from. Alex Cochran gets himself caught under the ball. Hearts are a man down. Fiorentina take a short corner kick. They try to move Hearts. It works. He let me off the hook a couple of times last week. Jovic for free headers from corner kicks. Tonight, he's absolutely punishing the worst possible start for Hearts.
1-0 Fiorentina. I think I'm excitement. I said 1-1 there. I think I was dreaming that Stephen Humphries' effort had actually gone in. Fiorentina in front. Inside 5 minutes. Brilliant movement from Jovic. But there's danger again here for Hearts. They need to organise quickly, otherwise
Don't go then.
more punishment coming their way. That's a good interception by Igor. Humphries caught flat-footed. Biragi again threatening, and he sneaks in behind and floats the cross back post. Hearts are under serious pressure here, and someone needs to take charge, take
Come on,
responsibility.
Hearts.
Peter Haring, who clips that away in the end.
Yeah, there's lots of panic. When you're a team who are low in confidence and fragile, when you concede an early goal, it impacts everybody. They've just got to regroup.
It's all hands to the pump at the moment. This is Kouame finding room to put the ball inside. Barak trying to get there. Fiorentina flooding players into the penalty box. And Hearts hanging on at the moment. 1-0 is bad enough. Having conceded early at Tynecastle last week. It's him again in Florence. Milankovic back to Bellini. Terzic streaking away from Barry Mackay. Real pace from the fullback. Works the 1-2. He's in behind and he's going to take a bit of catching. It's Terzic.
Good challenge.
Halliday dives in, slides in, gets a touch on the ball. He had to. He's got Terzic as well, but he's stopped.
Good touch on the ball.
The second goal for Fiorentina.
It's a perfectly timed tackle by Andy Halliday. If he gets that slightly wrong, it's a penalty kick. He gets done with the 1-2 because Terzic had the momentum. He was in full stride, but it's just that final touch. He takes it back across onto his left foot. It just entices Andy Halliday to go to ground and have that last-ditch lunge. And thankfully for him and for Hearts, he manages to just get a touch on the ball. The warning signs are there. Hearts have just got to ride out the storm, Rob. Sometimes you've got to dig deep mentally and make sure you don't concede a second goal.
Well, he's felt that Terzic. He caught the full momentum of that Andy Halliday slide, but it was brilliantly done by Hearts number 16, because I think we saw in that foot race with Mackay, Terzic is lightning quick.
As George Grant, you can see Robbie said ahead of the game, he was going to try and press a little bit higher up the pitch. He's got the licence in that attacking midfield role to go and press the centre halves and try and win the ball high.
Terzic, what a ball that is over the top. And Hearts could be in danger again. Kouame dances round Craig Gordon.
Come on, Hearts! Get in the game.
They are threatening Fiorentina every time they go forward.
Hello, Cammy, how you doing?
Just to look at the goal again. You know, it's just a simple cross into the box. You have to expect that defenders go and make contact.
We have had the worst possible start. Yeah, that is correct, but we did it in the box within the first 30 seconds. It could have been a whole different ball game if that shot would have gone in.
It's top class movement, isn't it? Ducking out, getting away from.
But I'm happy to see Humphreys getting an opportunity and getting a chance at starting. See how he does on loan from Wigan for us, so it'd be interesting.
In this game. Halliday. Haring. Under pressure from Andragora, the man who scored the early header at Tynecastle last week. That's well won. Composed on the ball, Peter Haring. George Grant. Haring again bundled over by Barak, the Czech Republic international midfielder.
You can see Hearts are trying to spend time with the ball. They still look a little bit shaky, a little bit apprehensive. They're making the passes and hoping their teammate gets and controls the ball, because they know once it breaks down and the ball turns over, the pace that Fiorentina have to break at can cause Hearts all sorts of problems if they're too open.
Pachacha here, and a goal up against RFS, the Latvian team, in the other group game. Top on 7 points going into tonight's matches. The team from Istanbul. And the game is in Istanbul tonight, 1 up. Hearts desperately want to get something out of this game and keep alive their chances of finishing in second place. You would imagine it is second place they're talking about. They would certainly settle for that, and they would bite your hand off for a draw tonight.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Barak and Andragola. Their movement, they're always looking for space, they're looking for Igor to find them in between the lines, and it's causing Hearts problems.
Another set piece which will require full concentration. The ball breaks out.
Over the post.
Side of the post. Struck with venom. Craig Gordon wasn't saving that if it was on target.
Simeone doesn't half generate some power when the ball comes to him. It falls perfectly. Craig Gordon can just stand and hope and pray that it doesn't nestle in the back of the net. It rattles off the post. Hearts are right in their luck. Fiorentina, as we expected, dominating, forcing the issue. being the aggressors. Hearts just have to hang in there.
Come on, Hearts.
And Sofian Amrabat.
Hearts need to do something, but we just can't do anything.
For Fiorentina, confidence header away, not really convincingly away. Kingsley gets a bit more distance, and that's where Hearts need to be getting on to the end of it, because it's coming straight back at them. Antonin Barak slipping in Jovic, great feet, lifts it back from the byline.
Good defend. Good defending.
And a free kick in the end for Hearts.
It's Stephen Kingsley, isn't it?
Yeah, had to get something on that.
Huge header in the middle of the 6-yard box. You've got to say, look at Jokic does really well down your right hand side. He stands across up. Kawami is just waiting to nod it into an empty net. Kingsley probably knows, if I head this, I'm going to get clattered. He knows Kawami's there, but he had to go for it. He wins it, just catches him in the face. But defending deep, defending in numbers, Rob, sometimes that's what you have to do away from home.
Christian Kouame was all set to head that into the back of the net, and Kingsley not got a touch on it. It was so important. Stephen Humphrey still reflecting on that early chance inside the opening minute, which came back off the post. And 4 minutes later, Fiorentina in front. Back from Halliday to Craig Gordon. 20th European appearance for Hearts tonight for the captain. Just 2 away from the record, jointly held by Stephen Presley and Henry Smith. That's given away, and Jovic rolls it down the middle. And thankfully, Hearts can get the ball clear.
Peter Haring had a chance. I think that's the frustration from Robbie Nielsen. Peter Haring had a chance to put the ball in behind. It broke down, and suddenly Hearts were under pressure.
More treatment required. Nathaniel Atkinson, of course, who was injured early on, played on. Is he going to be able to continue? Toby Sibic standing by. And I think that change is now going to have to be made. Atkinson certainly doesn't want a long-term injury at this stage. Even apart from a Hearts point of view, he will hope to be part of the Socceroos set up at the World Cup. But the game for him is over in Florence tonight, and Toby Sibic will replace him. They're short on choices, Hearts, especially defensively, with rolls out and Halkett out.
That's a ball. How is that offside?
And Lewis Nielsen suspended after his red card last week. Michael Smith on the injury list as well as of the weekend. And you add in the likes of Boyce and Beningame, Gary Mackay-Stephen not available, Josh Ginelli. It's a lengthy list.
Lauren Shanklин's on the bench.
Jovic looking to link with Barak.
Yeah, you've got to feel for Robbie Nielsen a little bit. You know, yes, he's having a tough time, and Hearts haven't won an awful lot of games in the last few months. But it just seems to be one injury after another. It's a makeshift team, that's for sure.
Milinkovic plays that in behind Sibic for Kouame.
Come on. Defend.
Mandragora. Back out wide. Biragi is there. A loose pass. Hearts can intercept. Barry Mackay. Haring to Halliday. And it's a poor pass intended for Humphreys. Amrabat intercepting, tidying up. It's what he does.
Come on, we need to stop playing.
Humphreys. Humphreys. Shrugging off a couple of challengers, driving forward.
Go on, Humphreys.
Alongside from George Grant.
Oh, fuck's sake, boys.
Doesn't find its way through. Igor, the Brazilian, in the way.
Just that final thing with the ball, Rob. They get themselves into a good area, and then that's when you have to relax. Make your pass complete. George Grant, can he make another pass? But it's good from Stephen Humphreys. He came on last week and certainly made a difference.
If he gets enough support, he can do some damage. And we didn't have to wait too long tonight to
Oh, what a stupid kick, Gordon, man.
He's got pace and he's got power. And he deserved better after he laid off the pass to Grant. But what was impressive was that surging run between Terzic and Amrabat. Back from Cochrane to Craig Gordon. Defended by Igor.
There's been a couple of times in midfield when it's been on to throw it down the side. Andy Halliday had one a couple of minutes ago in the left back area. Force people to run ahead of the ball. Don't always look to play in defeat. Fiorentina want to play a high line. Can Hearts expose them?
Luka Jovic shite.
This is Kwame. Mandragora. Biragi.
It didn't help. It didn't help at the same time we had an injured defender who decided he wanted to play on. It didn't, then they lost it, and then they scored from it.
Getting any great control of the ball in the midfield area.
If there was,
Fiorentina were confident going into this game anyway, but off to the ideal start.
it literally no one was anywhere near him, and his hamstring literally just went on his own.
From Devlin. Here's where Hearts have to be holding on to the ball. Round the corner from Grant. Humphreys can't get.
Come on, get the ball to Humphreys. He's doing everything for Hearts this game so far.
And fended away by Cochrane, but he's heading for Barak. And Fiorentina have a free kick.
I think the ball actually hit the referee, Rob. Stopped an attacking play, so the drop ball naturally will go straight back to Fiorentina. But you just feel it any time Fiorentina can cut Hearts open, don't you? You've got that so much possession, movement, rotation. Hearts just have to stay and be patient, match your runners, do the hard yards.
Haring's header. Free kick.
Oh, referee, he got the ball.
Inside the penalty box. After that late challenge, 20 minutes gone. It was Paddy Mackay who protests his innocence. Well,
You can see why, Rob.
yeah.
Quite clearly not a free kick. I think it's Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He's anticipating a high foot catching him, and he tries to jump over it. Barry Mackay drops his foot down. Gonzalez actually uses him to mount himself up into the air. So a really, really soft free kick. But a wonderful position for Biragi. It suits a left footer.
Come on.
Yeah, it was the Argentinian Nicolas Gonzalez who initiated the contact there. The referee taken in. And for the left foot of Biragi, this is some position. Hearts already a goal behind in the Tuscan capital. This is a big moment in the match. It's Biragi.
Oh, 2-0.
Who plants a left footer in the top corner. And in the 20th
No, Biragi from a free kick from that foul. They're going to score from the free kick, which was never a free kick.
Are extending this European adventure are fading fast.
Well, you got to say, first of all, it's a horrendous decision by the official. It's clearly not a free kick.
Yeah, because how on earth can a player assume that a player is going to do a high foot, then he puts his foot, plants it then back down, and then just literally just runs into the player when he's then turned his back.
He's never going to get that. It's pinpoint accuracy. It's right into the post each stand from Biragi.
No, it's just the weirdest thing that he's into. The player that scored the actual Gonzalez is what his name was anticipating that Barry Mackay was going to do a high foot challenge, and that never happened. So he then reacted like it was a high foot when it was nowhere near a high foot. Because he acted like it was a when it was a high foot, because he then turned his back to the player that then equalised into him to make it look like he did it. When it's
Nightmare scenario for Robbie Nielsen and his players, because coming into this game low in confidence, feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. Results haven't been going their way.
It would have been a different story if Hearts would have scored inside 30 seconds, but got unlucky.
It's frustrating. Try and keep the crowd quiet. 22 minutes in, you find yourself 2 goals down. Completely role reverse of what you wanted.
The player that there's only one player on this that's actually willing to do anything. That's that Humphries. Every time he's got the ball, he's managed to get through their midfield, but then it's just a defender that stops him.
Have they taken a bigger chunk of their chances? It would have been a much bigger scoreline.
Yep.
2-0 here.
That's, I think, following Thursday, but it's at like the kickoff's at 3:30.
With the threat and more to come.
Hearts have literally took over like a quarter of the ground.
George Grant flips it out to Barry Mackay.
Go on! Shoot! Ah!
Oh!
That's why you don't play Orange Shanklin, because he doesn't do fucking that.
It's much better all round, isn't it? George Grant winning the ball in midfield, playing forward.
He's on the bench. He's picked Humphries because he's been playing well the last 2 games. And literally every single shot Hearts have had that have nearly scored has come through Humphries. And he's broken through 3 times. But just dragged it a bit wide on that one. I wouldn't even trust Shank. I wouldn't even trust him. I watched the highlights of Hearts' game on Sunday. Shank had about 5 or 6 attempts and missed every single one. But then you had,
finishing touches from Jovic,
one of them who was at an angle. All he had to do was hit it straight at the keeper, just make him force a save. He decided, I'm going to put it literally across the face of goal, hoping someone was there. Literally, no one was there, when he could have just shot himself. It's like Shanklin's too scared to even have a shot on goal. And I always say, if you're a striker and you're scared of shooting, then why have you decided to become a striker in the first place?
Fiorentina running the show and fancying themselves for a goal or 2.
Yeah, when Humphries did more in the 30 minutes he was on in last Thursday than what Shanklin did in about double that. Yeah. He literally had 2 of Hearts' best chances in the entire of that game. And he was only on for not long. That just shows. Yeah, he's saying Hearts gonna get a chance again, because it seems to be a common theme in Europe. But in the league, they actually can do something. They know they can do it. It's just confidence.
You still have to stay with your man. You've got to remain competitive in the game. You can't just step off and allow the opposition to continue to dictate the game. So it's a real mental challenge for these Hearts players.
Yeah, it's 6 years in Europe when it comes to qualifiers, stuff like that. For group stage, it's been 18. They've not been in a group. I was living in Edinburgh the last time Hearts were in Europe in the group stages, and went to one of the home fixtures. So it shows how long that was. And that was me being about 5 or 6. So it shows how long it's been.
played lots of good football.
We played a team who's known for producing, I would say, one of the, I won't say the best player in the world, but he's up there, Edin Dzeko.
2 games against the Tynecastle team.
Which is Seleznikar, which is the club that he's produced. He played for in Bosnia.
On the evidence of what we've watched over the 2 games so far, they're impressive. Their movement's good. They've got pace. They've got trickery. Strong defensively. For some reason, it's just not clicking. And unfortunately,
And one of their supporters, I remember this, and it's always a good memory to me. Where we won 2-0. And to say thank you for the hospitality of the Scottish people and for a good game and everything in 2 legs, one of the fans just decided to give me a scarf when I was at age 6, and that was from an away supporter. Which I always have a bit of love for that club in that respect, because you don't really see that these days. And that's coming from someone who might not understand what I'm saying, and I didn't understand what he was saying, but for the love of the game. And that's what I want to see more of between fans. Not all this, oh, we're going to go over and we're all going to decide we're going to have a punch up. You just do that because you might meet some people from other teams and they might be nice, and then you might exchange them and you might become friends in the future with clubs like that. And that's what I want to see more in the game. Now, but you might get lucky. You might get the odd couple bit and stuff like that. But that's if you get like you say, Italian football. That will never work because Italians will never do like that to any team from England, because the Italians don't like us. All that Hearts have got to do is get the ball up to Humphreys and then let him do the rest. That just feels like what their game plan is at the moment.
Fiorentina feel as if they have them, they're pressing. You can hear the crowd cheering them on behind. You've got a sense of a wonderful crowd from Edinburgh here to watch Hearts tonight. They're desperate for their team to try and give them something to cheer about.
And Arsenal are winning.
Yeah, it really is a magnificent turn.
And it is Bukayo Saka.
There's another turnaround in possession. Hearts have it back there with Grant.
Fenerbahce are winning. João Pedro has scored. João Pedro has scored for Fenerbahce. I think if I'm correct. There is 2 João Pedros. And it's not the one who played for Watford. He played for Calgary. Yeah, I always get confused because there's sometimes in football. Oh, fuck's sake! Oh, great. We're not even half an hour in. Oh God, I just feel like crawling in bed and literally going to sleep at this point.
Milinkovic to his compatriot Jovic, and this is the Ivory Coast international Kouame. Barak, Kouame, Jovic,
3-0, game over, half an hour played.
Fiorentina, as Hearts are opened up once again.
But what makes no sense? They can't do it in the league, but in Europe they actually can score goals. But in the league they're getting battered left, right, and centre. It's that cheating git, Gonzalez shite. The score should actually be 2-0 because he cheated to get a free kick for a goal. So he's a cheating git.
They'd be more aggressive in their approach, they'd make more tackles, but unfortunately they just can't get anywhere near Fiorentina, and they're just running all over the top of them.
It's the 3rd goal of the season for the Argentinian Gonzalez. Well, Hearts conceded 3 against Fiorentina last week. It's 3 already tonight, and the worrying thing is for Hearts, there's still an hour to go.
no stage, if they had control of the game, where they're making 2 or 3 passes, you always talk about possession with a purpose. At times you think Hearts are just passing it because they feel as if they have to pass it. Can they turn it down the side? Can they try and play for territory a little bit to try and relieve the pressure? Because when they keep turning the ball over, all that happens is Fiorentina have the momentum.
It's been a painful week for the Scottish teams in Europe. Celtic losing at home to Leipzig. Rangers conceding 7 at Ibrox against Liverpool. And 3 goals already for Fiorentina against Hearts. And they ain't finished yet. And Dragora's cross deflected behind. It's going to be another corner kick.
It's always going to be a big challenge, Rob. To turn around the deficit of last week and the gulf in class at Tynecastle. They haven't managed to do it.
Real Betis are beating Roma.
It's tricks and flicks now from Fiorentina, chasing more goals, just too much on that from Gonzalez, and the ball bounces behind for the goal.
And that is by Sergio Canales.
The Premier League, Leicester City against Crystal Palace on Saturday live on BT Sport 1 and Ultimate from 11:30. Later tonight, Manchester United at home to the Cypriot team of Moya in the Europa League, 7:15 on 1 and Ultimate. In the conference, West Ham against Anderlecht from 7:45 on 2. Next Thursday, Arsenal against PSV in the Europa League from 5:30 on 1 and Ultimate. And tonight, of course, all the highlights from both the Europa League and the conference. All games featured 10:30 on 1.
Oh yeah, because also in Europa League action next week instead of playing in the Premier League.
Turned out to be a rout against Hearts.
Yeah, except that Arsenal don't, because that game got called off due to unforeseen circumstances which were under anyone's control.
They've struggled to score against other opposition,
But I still think that's weird how their game against PSV got called off, but our game against Salzburg at home didn't. I still think that's still confusing.
Clever flick from Jovic. Amrabat driving onto the ball, and free kick goes Fiorentina's way.
They're just so slick. You know, the minute they win the ball, their first thought is to go forward. Can we go and pierce the opposition? Can we get in behind them? Andy Halliday took a dull one. Amrabat was fouled and fell into him. When you think about it, Amrabat hasn't dictated proceedings as much this week as he did at Tynecastle. However, there are other quality players to do that.
This is Jovic, talking of quality players. Can't find Kwame. Given away though.
Have you not read that thing about Chelsea women's manager? I have no idea what it is.
And Kwame.
I'm still trying to get my head around what it actually is. 'Cause I've never heard of it.
Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half in Florence. And hopefully the Hearts fans have enjoyed their day, because they...
So now it's her coaching staff that are now taking over the reins until she's well enough to come back and manage us.
Artemio Franchi Stadium.
Oh, it looked like from what Chelsea put, it looked like it was quite serious because it was an emergency surgery.
When they land in possession of the ball, they want to take a break. It's almost as if, oh, we're tired. You can't. You've got to try and speed the game up.
And I watched the what was it? The 3-part documentary they did with her as 10 years at Chelsea, and her assistant knows what he's doing, so we're in good hands.
You always wonder when you watch Hearts, where would they be without Craig Gordon? Time and time again, game after game, he makes big saves.
And he makes them seem ordinary because he produces
Don't
them.
get out!
The whistle has gone before Biragi swings in the cross.
Kwame, he's been a handful. He's played off the left, he's played off the right. tees it up for Gonzalez coming in on that left foot. You can see he's aiming for that far post.
Yeah, it's come through a ruck of players as well. He's seen that pretty late, Craig Gordon, but we have become very used to seeing him doing just that, both for club and country.
Come on, get rid!
Up possession yet again.
Get rid. Oh, this is too easy.
Rolls it for Kwame.
For God's sake!
And they're scoring almost at will.
Ah.
Such a serious struggle this season to find the back of the net. Suddenly, it's become very straightforward. 3-0 becomes 4-0, 7 minutes away from half-time.
You trace that right back to the middle of the pitch where Cammy Devlin gives up possession. He gets caught, and then suddenly that's when Fiorentina switch on. That's when they come alive. They move the ball quickly. It's a single ball down the outside. Kwame, it's a great pick out, you've got to say. Who's picking up Barak? Where's the midfield players? Absolutely nowhere. Once again, they're opened up. Barak just simply guides the ball in for the net. We said last week, look how many white jerseys are around the ball. Everybody's retreating, everybody's dropping off. Just gifting space and time for Fiorentina to go and pick their pass and pick their moment.
At the moment, folks, I've got nothing to say. I physically have nothing to say. I have physically nothing to say.
Big hopes of keeping alive their chances of going further in this competition. But suddenly, the main aim of the evening is to stop this scoreline getting any bigger.
I've got nothing to say right now, folks. Got nothing to say.
To Andy Halliday. Long ball up for Humphreys, headed away by Igor, towering above the Heart striker. And here they go again with Biragi and Barak, able to find all the room he wants. The Czech midfielder.
I've literally got nothing. No words can describe this right now. Nothing.
It's like a training game, Rob, for Fiorentina, you've got to say. They can take touches on the ball, they can lift their head. Hearts are retreating. That happens when you go behind and you're playing poorly in the game. Everybody drops off. You end up not picking anyone up, and all you do is afford more space to the opposition because you're trying to protect what's behind you rather than focus on sometimes what's ahead of you.
Terzic. And down goes Nicolas Gonzalez, fouled by Barry Mackay, takes the free kick quickly. Andragora, Kwame, Barak, Hearts at the back with Haring. And this is fouled by Igor.
He's been the one player that showed something, isn't he? Stephen Humphreys. He's had a couple of attempts, he's taken the ball in. Yes, he's been a little bit loose a couple of times in possession, but he's certainly doing his best to try and get his team up the pitch.
Yeah, he certainly justified his inclusion, preferred to Lawrence Shankland for the reasons which Robbie Nielsen explained pre-match. That's a foul on Mackay. Four minutes away from half-time in Florence.
Well, the thing is, for Robbie Nielsen, he looks at his bench and he's not got an awful lot of experience in his bench to try and bring on or try and mix things up or bring a little bit of energy to it. Quite a lot of young players. He's got two goalkeepers. Well, that's not a bad plan. Bring someone else in beside Craig Gordon.
Just looking at Nathaniel Atkinson trudging back to the technical area. We'll try and find out later on the extent of that injury, but of course he has World Cup on his mind apart from anything else. Cochran floats it out wide, looking for Barry Mackay, but Alexa Terzic gets there first.
This is going to be a big challenge for Robbie Nielsen at half-time. He's going to have to try and find the words that perk his players up. There's no point in getting down and criticising. His players are low anyway. He's got to try and pick them up somehow. Give them targets to aim for in the second half. The game's long gone. Let's forget about that. We can't afford this to just keep adding up more goals.
I apologise, folks, if I'm not really that happy mood person, because honestly, the game's over.
This is Forrest and Civic.
Go on.
No way through for Alan Forrest. And the cross ball in from Peter Haring was catching practice for Golini. Kovac to Terzic. Well, those horror scoring stats for Fiorentina can certainly be sorted out tonight.
Man, just embarrassing though for an absolute joke. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I do apologise if I'm not talking a lot, if I'm not really my happy, bustly self. You can completely understand it. I hope you guys are understandable of it.
Scored that unmarked header at Tynecastle early on last week. And again, Hearts caught cold tonight after they could so easily have gone ahead in the game. And Dragora flicks it out wide for Biragi. It's another really inviting ball across goal. Thankfully for Hearts, no takers this time, but the danger not over. Terzic floats it back post. There's panic stations back there, and it drops for Biragi, and that's maybe not a great idea. We've seen the menace and the venom of that left foot already.
Yeah, they're nervous, aren't they? The minute the ball goes into a wide area, defenders start to panic. Fiorentina know they have them, they know they've got bodies running into the box.
Another injury for Hearts, Peter Haring this time. A chance to talk to you about the floods which are devastating Pakistan, submerging vast areas of land and leaving 6 million people in need of urgent help. We're supporting the DEC's Pakistan Floods Appeal to help provide those affected with shelter, food and water. If you'd like to help, you can text BT Sport, all one word, to 70000 with the whole £10 going to the appeal. Your donation could be life-saving, and thank you for it. Well, plenty for those three to be thinking about in the dugout. Lee McCulloch and Gordon Forrest alongside Robbie Nielsen. What can they do to stem the flow of Fiorentina goals? Inside stoppage time at the end of the first half. A minute gone, it will be extended.
Can't quite work out what the referee's explaining. I know the ball hit Peter Haring. The ball mustn't have went out of play, so for some reason they give the ball back to Hearts.
Stoppage time might be getting extended, but Hearts' European run won't be getting an extension. Still a couple of group games to come. One of them, of course, is in Istanbul against Başak Şehir, who inflicted a heavy defeat on Hearts at Tynecastle on matchday 1. And the other game, of course, is a home game against RFS. Now, having won in Latvia, Hearts will hope that they can do the double against the Latvian team. But The way the results are going tonight, it does look
Half time,
as if
folks.
it will be Başakşehir here in Fiorentina who will occupy those top two places. It has been frightening in Florence for Hearts in this first half. They could have been ahead inside 30 seconds when Stephen Humphreys rattled the shot off the post.
I'm just going to be off for a few minutes. Won't be long. Folks, I'll be back in a tick. now back, folks. Ready for the next 45 minutes of torment. Goes, gutted man, that's us out, I think now. We went out long before this game got even played. F an embarrassment, F me, the only positive is Humphries up front, but I'm done watching this shite. We are out now, I know it's Fiorentina, but like, show passion. Sorry for the language, that's alright, we all have moments where we are a bit annoyed. Yeah. Let's get some questions in the chat, folks, just to do something to get our minds on things. Just ask me anything. Here we go. There's one of my regular arts viewers goes, effing embarrassment, F me, the only positive is Humphries up front, but I'm done watching this shite. We are now out. I know it's Fiorentina, but like, show passion. Sorry for the language. Humphries has had the best chances, and he's also hit the post within 30 seconds. And that's why I said we might have done better in all the other games if Humphries were to have started. And it shows then. It's just shown. Because within 30 seconds of his first European start, he's gone hit the post. So if you get him in a good space, you know he can cause trouble. Lauren Shanklin can't. Because he's too scared. Like, this is where we've got most of our money is Europe. So next season we need to have better tactics, better players, and get the money coming in, and also the results coming in. Yeah, correct on that one. And we're getting too many injuries in defence, and that's always annoying. And it is, Istanbul, a 2-0 up. Istanbul shite. Stefano Kaka.
Already in Florence. Michael Stewart, Neil McCann still alongside me. Michael, I guess it's damage limitation for the second half.
Absolutely, because you know this game's gone. The campaign is going to be all but over, and they really need to, you know, as you say, limit the damage and make sure that this doesn't have any lasting, lingering effect for the league campaign.
Neil?
Yeah, I think he needs to shore up the midfield, Connie. Squeezing from midfield.
Oh my! You should have gone on. You should have gone on the minute. The team that's shocking the apple cart, Real Betis. They're beating Roma and they're doing it twice.
Players are in the tunnel. The Fiorentina players coming out for the second half. Ed Florence, let's rejoin your commentary team tonight. Stephen Craigan.
I wonder if that the game even kicked off.
Thanks, Connie. It's bad enough already, but you do start to wonder.
Yeah, the game's not even. The second half's not even kicked off.
More serious this could get for Hearts in the course of the next 45 minutes. You start looking at stats for Hearts' biggest ever defeat in European competition. It was 5-0 at home to Tottenham in 2011, so it's just one goal away from that as things stand. Fiorentina's biggest European win. Well, they scored 6 against Elfsborg in 2007.
Okay.
Can Hearts shore things up? It's been a massive half-time team talk for Robbie Nielsen. What can he do in
Here we go, Alf.
reorganisation? There are going to be a couple of changes to be made. Alfred Duncan, the Ghanaian, is coming off the bench for Fiorentina. In the second,
The guy.
they can do as they please.
Oh, it's a goal! You need to take away the squad.
And search for more goals in this game.
Do you want to do a thing? Do you want to actually down them again? Because you downed them thinking they weren't going to get back in it, and what did they do? They go and score.
Words in his ear from Lee McCulloch, the chairman.
Yeah, the guy who scored goals for Braga is called Victor Oliveira,
Is going to be coming off the bench for Hearts as well. Ricardo
and he scored all 3.
is another change for the home team.
Yeah, it says here Victor Oliveira.
Alan Forrest is one of the players who has stayed indoors for Hearts. George Grant is the other. On come the 2 substitutes. That's a
Boniface.
prospect coming into this.
Boniface.
So a couple of changes apiece.
Undav. Second half on the way. No need to say any more. No need to say anything basically.
In the second half, it's surely got to be all about keeping the score down. Already 4 goals behind.
Oh, you.
Well, the reputation's
Lanniker scored on the penalty spot. Wow.
Fans talk about just chucked it, rolled over, gave up the fight, just accepted defeat, accepted that the goals were just.
And final the winning.
So individually, everyone has got something to play for. Irrespective of result, you've got something to play for, and your pride is absolutely top of that list. And it looks as if Robin Nielsen's now gone to a back 5. Peter Haring has come back into playing a back 3 beside Stephen Kingsley and Alex Cochran.
I want Humphreys to score because he's the only player on this team that actually deserves a goal.
Classed so far. And second best.
Come on. And then it will show the manager to not play Lawrence Shankland in the future.
After Humphreys hit the post.
Go on, Humphreys!
The score is Humphreys who's in.
David Humphreys! Oh, can finish up it! Go!
Within just over a minute
Go on!
of the restart.
Because we're not going through, at least we got something to celebrate. At least there's something.
In from the start of the first half, he does score this time. And it's 4-1.
To be a massive shithouse, could the comeback be on?
And the number of times he played forward.
Oh, that'll be me. If that ever happened, then it would be the greatest comeback of all time.
Ran in behind and played forward rather than being negative all the time. And Humphreys, who's been Hearts' best player, gets his just reward. He hit the post in an over that flashed wide. And certainly that's good for the spirit. It's good
But the one thing we have seen, and this was what happened to Fiorentina at the weekend, or in their last game, they conceded one, and then literally they were conceding goals like it was coming out of their ears.
So unlucky at the start of the first half. Scoring at the start of the second half. Second half's goal.
Oh, Stephen Humphries! God! Didn't even think we'd get a goal in this game.
It's a booking for Peter Haring, meantime.
I think he does this time the tackle, no doubt about it. Is it a
Wow.
yellow card?
Now that's going to be a shock in Europe. Slovan Bratislava beating Basel.
In the halfway line and he ran ahead of the ball. He forced the pass to go in.
Beating Basel, which is actually quite a shock in itself. Oh, the 3-1 up! What the heck?
Balls in behind her.
God, they put Basel to win that. And Ghent are getting beaten 4-1 by Dungardens of Sweden. I'm getting smashed 4. No, they're getting smashed 5-0. It's 5-0. Ghent are 5-0 down.
Defenders Kingsley and Haring escorted back.
So someone's actually managed to outdo Hearts in conceding goals. And that's Ghent.
Brilliantly finished last week by the Ivory Coast international. Here goes Humphries again. And that comes Golini.
It sounds like Fiorentina cannot cope with Humphries.
Putting the ball down the side, putting the ball over the top. That's 2 occasions already in the opening 3.5 minutes of the second half. Hearts have had
Here we go.
success naturally with
Oh, got a lot of questions now to catch up on now that people put.
side by Stephen Kingsley.
We always have so many injuries, like Benny, he's out last season for the final and he meant to be coming back soon, yeah. Boys, this season is already over. Don't remind me. He was alright and then he was not playing as a striker. Yeah, that's fair enough. That is true. Then our main defenders were out. Ralston was out. Halkett both out to November, but that's not long. I felt so bad for the travelling supporters. They were making great noise and everything, and they rewarded with getting knocked out of Europe. But be happy! We've actually scored a goal, so at least it's something to be thankful. Because no one would have given us a prayer at scoring one. I have one,
Fans today were having lunch and they said,
and this is an interesting question. I have one question. Would you be Robbie in or Robbie out?
and I have to say they went wild in the corner.
Robbie in or Robbie out? Would I want him sacked or would I want him to stay?
Can they edge their way back into this? Can they get a
I can't say.
Can they put a little bit of doubt in the mind of the Fiorentina players?
I can't say much to a guy who's a club legend. But they won't sack him. I just don't think they will.
Igor.
So,
Subiragi. Saponara.
and then he goes, then I go and say, I hope Hearts go and score a goal, and then you just called it low.
There's been a concern for most of the season for Hearts, a lack of physical presence.
Yeah, if the score ends like this, I will be a little bit happy because at least Hearts are on the score sheet.
Biragi swings it in from a corner kick. Down went Alex Cochrane. And the free kick goes.
If he did get sacked, who would you like in? Oh, okay, that's not a bit of an that's interesting because I wouldn't have a.
Alex Cochrane. probably wasn't-
No.
This man, Jovic's got the better of
He
him.
just said, who would you like as a manager to come in if he got sacked? He put if he got the sack.
Hearts looking to change their complexion.
It would-
Second half.
I'm gonna put this.
So far.
I would
a
no.
total downpour of goals
Or
in that first half.
or there could be a thing is he might not even get sacked.
But finally something for the Chambos to celebrate.
Yeah, I can't answer.
And have come here in big numbers.
Yeah,
Even already in the early
we
stages
can't
of the
answer.
second half,
Yeah, can't answer the question unless a manager gets sacked. Then you can give me that question.
It's shutting the stable door after the horse is bolted.
Yeah.
For Hearts.
Oh, no. I would not get that.
Going to make the scoreline look a little bit
I can't
better
say that.
still. Kouame from Biragi.
I wouldn't even have that. I wouldn't even have that manager at Hearts if my life depended on it. That guy's an idiot, and that guy always is. That guy causes more trouble on the touchline than any manager I've seen.
And that will be a foul.
And he's already in a job.
Well, they've got to be brave with the ball.
No.
There's no point in just throwing it forward and hope. There are times it is
I won't say names, but I'm just going to say just managers who I know that are out of a job, but I'm just not going to answer the question in that respect, because I know a couple of managers are out of a job, but they're just too big of a managers to come to a club like this. Because you've got managers at the moment, a couple being sacked by Watford. They're not going to come because they're too big of a managers to come to a club like this. Like, I'm going to just use an example. If we went, and this is just as an example, Rob Edwards, ex-manager of Watford, ex-manager of Forest Green Rovers. That's, if he came to Hearts, I'm just using that as an example, folks. If he came, I would be slightly a bit happy in a way if a manager like that, because he's been at someone who's not a big club, and knows what it takes to win a league, because he's done it with Forest Green.
That's well done by Civic.
I like someone who actually has got a bit of experience of winning at least something, so that can instill it into the players when he comes. And that's the sort of manager I'd want. I'm just hoping that makes any sense to people. But I use that as an example because it was a bit of a strange thing, and I'm just.
People in need of urgent help. We're supporting the DEC's Pakistan floods appeal to help
But
provide those.
Neil Lennon would never, ever get anyone in this club, because we Hearts fans can't stand him anyway, and that way. Yeah, and I can't even stand that bloke, even if we don't have him as a manager. I just think he's a bit too arrogant. But at the moment, I'm backing Neil Lennon tonight and hoping that his team can go and win at Old Trafford. And Omi and Nicosia do the impossible, win at Old Trafford. They nearly beat my United second first time round. It was all if it wasn't for Marcus Rashford, they would have lost.
Make sure he hits the back of the net. 2 goals in 2 games for him certainly will do him the world of good.
Two really good finishes as well from an angle at Kilmarnock at the weekend to get Hearts back in that game. And
If Real Sociedad can get something at Old Trafford, any other team can.
Kouame, and it will be a corner kick.
Yeah.
Just seems to
Come on, Senegalese, can you please score another goal?
Alex Cochrane and Stephen Kingsley certainly aren't natural central defenders by any stretch of the imagination. Peter Haring is probably more of one he's played there before. Kingsley is better in the middle of the back three or the left of the back three, and they just seem to have covered the ground a little bit better.
Yep.
Some action going on off the ball ahead of this corner kick.
And Neil Lennon doesn't have the balls he was born with, because he's got a good player in Gary Hooper, which is the most experienced player in his whole entire squad, and he didn't even play him in the first game. Which if I was manager, I would be playing him, because you've got someone who's got experience. And you want to play experience in Europe.
This time. Fiorentina just bunching up around the penalty spot. They're trying to create overloads. They're trying to get running the Hearts defenders.
Man United are starting Ronaldo.
He's just blocked by Igor. Just backs into him. Absolutely knows he's there.
So it's Ronaldo, Anthony, Fernandes and Rashford.
But I have to say,
Are the front four.
since he came on. He's had lots of criticism and
So that's gone very attacking on that one.
weeks when he hasn't had a natural central defender. He's coming on and playing as a right back, as a right wing back. I'll tell you what, but all eyes on him. I think he's actually done.
Come on, you gotta.
Yeah, he's an unused sub against his name pretty regularly, Toby Sibic, but hasn't done badly at all since coming off the bench.
And that doesn't help your confidence. Players are aware that, Rob.
Oh, it's 3-3! Oh, it's incredible!
He doesn't fancy me. He doesn't think I've got
Sengalese has scored!
either accept it or you think, do you know what, I'm going to show him, and I think tonight.
Sengalese has scored and he's still off slightly a little bit less than half an hour to go.
It was 5 wins in 15 going into this for Hearts. It's going to be 5 wins in 16. If you go back to the end of last season, it's 5
Yeah,
wins in
mate, it's got
21, Craig.
Union Sengalese or USG are playing Braga and he's got him in the bet, and also Fenerbahce who are losing. Everyone.
Yes, he's had lots of injuries, I get all that. However, we know in
The guy called Boniface!
and the results aren't good. The fans want to go for
What a name, Boniface!
We're always going to have to turn it around quickly.
I've said this already, but Peter Harring's going to have to watch himself since the yellow card. He's been involved in a couple of...
And also, bye-bye, you Chesterfield
And what Hearts
absolute shite player. Get out of our club and bugger off. You did nothing for us. I'm glad he's left now.
free kick taken too quickly for the
Wow.
referee.
I can give you some good news. Calvin Miller has left Chesterfield.
Alfred Duncan is over this with Biragi.
No, but I'm saying because it's when you said, because you know all the time I get, he was annoying. He would always give away literally like free kicks, always get himself booked, nearly sent off every time. He's left under mutual consent. So he's left on his own accord. Which is a good thing because he's not getting into the team because he causes a lot of trouble, as in he puts us on the back foot a lot of the time by getting himself on a booking, or he gives away stupid fouls.
Danny Mackay right on top of him. It was good pressing.
Yeah. Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
But from the forward players, Alan Forrest went off. George Grant tried to get about the pitch, but couldn't. It's been even more of an even second. Only because Fiorentina dropped it.
And also, they've also got ex
Stopped the game, so it's
LAFC striker Diego Rossi. Diego.
Kenny and Duncan. One of the
Oh,
switches.
I've heard of this player, but I don't think most players might not have heard of him, called Lincoln.
No free kick.
Yep, Lincoln.
Advantage, is it?
That's nothing but speed up front.
And defended by Kingsley. Peter Haring, Connor Smith, and that's a foul.
Oh my God, they got the Adam Salah. Ah!
you just see a little bit
And then
the confidence.
Gustavo Enrique. Fuck off.
Ball in tight areas. They're taking hits and winning
What's
free
with
kicks.
Fenerbahce and Brazilians?
We're miles away from them in the first half. So all this half is about marginal gains.
A guy who can't win a European trophy.
Heading up to Pretoria on Sunday. Gotta try and take everything they possibly can.
Yeah, because every time he went to a final with Benfica, they always lose. And they'll always be on penalties. He had the curse.
And for Fiorentina, next up a game against Lecce. It's going to be Monday.
Who else have they got on here?
As they look to
They got a guy called Miguel Crespo.
squeals from
No, I'm just having a look.
after that chance
Ed Valencia!
from Smith.
Bugger that! Nah!
It quite clearly wasn't a sore. As what the screen thought it made out.
Then you got, yeah, Batch White, legend.
Nudge. There's a slight contact inside of his calf, but he was up.
Then Emre Moore. Jeez, they got some good players in that team, Fenerbahce.
Terzic and Milinkovic. Movement.
The only other team in that league that can compete with them, with the amount of good talent they've got, is that Istanbul Başakşehir.
And that is a free kick. And Stephen Kingsley holding his head as he hits the deck.
My initial thought was he's landed awkwardly. I don't know if he's been caught by Kawame, who's managed to spin him around. But look, really unorthodox.
Come on, Boniface! And come on, it's only insane goal. He's scoring another goal, please. It would just be an absolute. It would be absolutely funny.
And he's landed on him, Kawame. Yeah.
It's just the last thing Robbie Nielsen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be funny if they were to score, because it would. Like you said, they were like 3-1 down at one point, and then be winning. What the heck? They got a guy called Christian Burgess, ex-Portsmouth. Fuck me. What made him decide to leave English football and said, I'm going to go and play in Belgium? Because this guy's because their owner's like rich. Oh, they've even got another English player in their squad called Ross Sykes. Who used to play for Accrington Stanley? And now he's playing in Europa Conference League.
Next Thursday, Arsenal and PSV in the Europa League from 5:30 on One and Ultimate. And tonight, of course, all the highlights from all the Europa League and Conference League games, 10:30 on One. Was a lengthy spell of treatment this for Stephen Kingsley. Not one to.
Wow, I'm still shocked that Arsenal are still only 1-0 up against Bodo Glimt.
And the laws of the game mean he now has to go off the pitch because Kawame wasn't booked for it. Stephen Kingsley has to go off until the ball's back in play, then he's allowed back on. Thankfully, he is okay. He's up on his feet.
And Valencia.
64 minutes gone, 4-1 Fiorentina. Referee Ivan Bebic just making sure that Stephen Kingsley is okay.
I meant, who else can they start as striker? No, you didn't say that. You said it completely wrong. But the guy was put. Who did he? If he did get the sack, who would you like in? I meant who else can they start as striker? They've only got literally 2 strikers. That's it.
And unable to take advantage.
If Nelson does not get 4 full third this season, I will be Nelson out, which means to be the best of the rest. They don't even look like that, because the one who's the best of the rest at the moment is stupid Ipshite. And that team can go and shove it up their left pipe. Oh, don't do me that, because Hearts have got them next. Oh, great. Great. Hearts could beat Istanbul if they get a couple of wins together beforehand. Oh, it's Stefano Okaka again.
They need to get a league form sorted out. They've enjoyed being in Europe. They want to improve. They want to be back next year. And the league form has to improve. They've got to get themselves in there. And if they can, then they can shred some of the squad players and look to add quality. So you're a better place next year to be more competitive in Europe.
Yeah, it's about using those lessons learned in this campaign.
Come on, Union St. Louis. Keep we score.
If they can get themselves involved again with third place in the Premiership. Looking feral fight at the moment. Devlin. Back with Cochrane. Peter Haring. Connor Smith. Devlin under pressure. Ballack flicks it forward. Cochrane hands it straight back. The Czech midfielder under pressure, but gets a second bite. Biragi, defended by Kingsley. Here comes Barak, overruns it, comes off Kieran Sordo and through to Craig Gordon.
They just look a better side, don't they, Hearts? You know, they've been better with the ball. They've played closer together. I always felt, particularly the first half, I felt as if the front three of Forrest, Mackay and Humphreys, they played so wide apart. There was no linked-up play, there was no connection. They seem to have more players around the ball now when they win it. It may only be a small moral victory if they can win this half, but it just means they can look forward with a bit of positivity.
Mackay losing it.
He's been a big disappointment, Rob, I think, over the 3 and a bit conference games so far. Barry Mackay, he's better than what he's shown.
Yeah, we know what he's capable of, don't we? One of Hearts' big players hasn't really delivered.
I think as the Hearts players look to him, you know, they know themselves that he's their most creative player. He's your trickiest. You really have to step up. You know, he's been touted for the Scotland squad. He was in the last one. How are you going to sustain that? How are you going to catch Steve Clark's eye? Nights like tonight. Nights like last Thursday at Tynecastle against Fiorentina. The Shacks are here at home. Can you stand out? Can you pose the problem? But unfortunately,
Union St. Louis are actually doing alright.
The back heel from Barak. Back to him from Biragi. Looking to turn on the style. Fiorentina. That was Civic's challenge.
Yeah.
For the Fiorentina captain.
and rightly so, because he's going to the referee and he's asking him to go and book Toby Civic. The referee's got a mind of his own. You think because you've got the captain's armband, you can dictate to the referee what happens in the game. Unfortunately, Baragi, you can't. You've got yourself a needless yellow card. It's clumsy from Toby Civic. You know, and he is late. It is a booking. But look at Baragi, straight to the referee.
So booking for Civic and a booking for Biraki. Well, he was asking for a yellow card and it was flashed in his own face, and maybe that's the way it should go. Almost inside the last 20 minutes in Florence, Biragi plays it in. It's well defended by the hobbling Devlin. Connor Smith will leave that to Peter Haring.
I think a lot, you know, we've certainly spoken about it, the boys in the studio have spoken about it, the players missing for Hearts. And sometimes when you speak about it enough, the players who are available, Robert, just gives them an excuse.
We also had a big advantage because Aberdeen's manager is banned for like 8 games or whatever, but it doesn't make a difference. You can't make excuses.
Connor Smith in the second half, and look at Toby Civic. They've taken the opportunity that's been presented to them, albeit you know, it's a 4-0 game, they're having to chase down, but they've certainly shown great application and willingness.
Stephen Kingsley covering in behind Alex Cochrane.
Come on, Union St. Louis. Union St. Louis.
Further damage, having been 4 down at half-time. Because you did feel the worst at that point. Now this scoreline
Freiburg are beating Nantes.
continued in the same vein. Duncan down the line. Biragi's cross ball. Saponara helps it on. Left by Halliday, and out comes Craig Gordon to claim it.
Better defended from the cross ball. Yes, Saponara gets the header at the near post. It's never really threatening Craig Gordon's goal, but there's enough white jerseys around it trying to protect the goalkeeper, allowing him to come and relieve the pressure.
Craig Gordon's clearance goes straight to Alfred Duncan. Saponara fires it in. And
Well done, Gordon.
Gonzalez looking to pick his spot, but Craig Gordon had it covered. Connor Smith driving forward and needed to be finding Stephen Humphries with that pass.
Give him the kiss of death, haven't it? Said he was doing well. I thought for all the money he was going to make that pass to Humphries. Humphries made a good run outside. Milinkovic was trying to get down the outside of him. Smith has to make that pass.
Milinkovic to Igor. In for Barak, the knock down for Duncan.
Come on.
Headed away by Kingsley. Had he left it was probably going behind. It was boomed forward by this man, the substitute Alfred Duncan. Terzic losing out. Ricardo Saponara. Terzic. In from Gonzalez for Kouame. Looking to knock that one down for Saponara, but Craig Gordon intervenes.
It's good movement as well from Kouame. He tried to take Stephen Kingsley under the ball and then spin behind him. Kingsley managed to just jump into him. And I just wonder, has Robbie Nielsen stumbled across a shape and the personnel that he has available to him, Rob, that may work potentially going to Aberdeen on Saturday? Because I don't think Robbie Nielsen, ahead of this game, if he had said we'll end up playing a back five and Toby Civic will play right wing back, I don't think he would have believed you, because he seemed that far out of the picture.
Fenerbahce have scored!
I did wonder whether he might start in that position as it was. He started in
Media has 5 on the penalty spot.
with Devlin. But thus far in the second half,
No! No!
resisted
No!
further punishment.
Oh, you can't!
Lawrence Shanklin is coming off
Oh, the kid of a manager. No!
He's scored the Hearts goal.
Oh, I fucking hate this manager.
Hit the post right at the start. And generally delivered.
Oh, I hate Robbie Nielsen, man.
Mackay goes off as well as the two subs come on.
He's bringing on Lawrence Shanklin.
Has certainly his pace.
And he's taken off Stephen Humphries.
Hearts can get him involved.
He's took off the best player on the pitch.
You're going to try and give the manager food for thought. Certainly Stephen Humphries playing as a centre forward has given Robbie Nielsen that. Yes, Shanklin is probably the more natural goal scorer, but all round game, Humphries may just edge it.
This is Duncan. Flicks it out wide to Saponara. His cross ball in is headed away by Halliday. And it's not yet clear, is now. It's Halliday again.
He's got to go long, Rob. He's got to go long in behind.
Who hasn't got a job at the moment.
He's spun in behind Andy Halliday trying to play it short.
Yeah. Yeah, we've just spoken about it, how quick he is. Henderson in behind. And he might have been onto something there. Into the last 15 minutes in Florence.
In Graham Potter we trust.
Igor charging forward. This is Nicolas Gonzalez for Kouame and Barak, and Gonzalez slips
No,
off
out!
Fiorentina before Kouame blazes that right foot over the top.
Yeah, because he's got us on a winning run at the moment.
As soon as you get in behind Barak, he had a shot. He doesn't. He manages to just keep moving it.
And Arsenal are shite because they're only winning 1-0.
Possible is how many Hearts players are snapping into tackles. If the first man gets beat, the second man's trying to back him up. Something that should have been at the start of the game. Too little, too late.
Much improved Hearts second half.
That manager should be
That's
sacked.
a harder challenge, Rob. At half time, it's easy to go in and feel sorry for yourself and come out and go through the motions in the second half.
Quote should be
Just allow the game
sacked.
to drift away. But to actually refocus, knowing you're having to run about and chase and harry, you might get nothing out of the game. But we spoke about it, Ty restored a little bit individually. They'll be feeling better about themselves, particularly after.
Klopp can go and beat Rangers 7-1, but he can't go and win a game in the league.
The potential halfway through to become very embarrassing for Hearts.
That shows how shite Rangers, Liverpool are.
And Craig Gordon pulling off a couple of top stops. Samanara gets in behind. Is that a penalty?
Oh, what a stupid idiot.
Number 5 for Fiorentina.
What an idiot.
Looking for Alex Cochrane.
Penalty Fiorentina.
Gets that all wrong.
You just know whenever Sapanara
Because Alex Cochrane decided I'm going to do a stupid challenge.
he gets too tight initially, he goes to try and win a ball and nick a ball. He doesn't need to. That's when you talk about you put players out of position. He's going in as a centre half. He's thinking he can go and nick the ball. Sapanara's wanting the contact. He's wanting to roll him, to spin in behind. You can see Alex Cochrane knows himself. It's a foul. He makes one bad decision and he makes another one. Trying to make up for the first one. 2 mistakes.
Hearts are not a bad team, it's just in Europe they're not as good.
Just have to be patient and wait his moment.
They'll beat Aberdeen on Saturday.
Minutes from time. Is 4-1 about to become 5-1? It is
Oh, 5-1.
clinical finishing,
Yeah.
and Fiorentina ramp up the punishment for Hearts. Nicolas Gonzalez scores his second of the game. Deep
Ah.
into the opposite corner after Craig Gordon had made his move. Fiorentina 5, Hearts 1.
It's naive defending
But actually,
by Gonzalez. He was in control the whole way through.
here we might win. You never know.
It does feel a little bit harsh on Hearts for the second half performance to concede a goal in that manner.
But
Sometimes when you're trying to
but actually we could win.
around holes, individual errors can cost you, and Alex Cochrane, he has to learn from that. Probably the second half,
You always got.
he can't go diving in.
You're gonna have to believe.
Up goes Anthony Barrack. On comes
And also you don't like Scottish football.
who featured late on in Tynecastle last week. And the skipper Biraghi has gone off as well. Lorenzo Venuti is the replacement. He goes to right back and Terzic to left back.
Except not all of them are Scottish. All of them are all different nationalities.
For Fiorentina. It's a bruising defeat this for Hearts. There's been a team transformed in the second half.
Except most of
Suddenly 4-1 becomes 5-1.
It's been a sobering week for Scottish football and European football terms, isn't it? Not a win. 2 goals between 3 teams.
they will get on. I believe in the.
Good work for Lauren Shankland. Winning the battle there with Milan Kovic. Spotting the goalkeeper.
Go!
He was so close. Shankland to dropping that in under the crossbar. We've seen him scoring from long range before. And he was so close here.
Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. Someone tried to do a lob from halfway and nearly did it.
He's all over the place. He's no idea. He's just playing the ball is going to hit the crossbar or at least land on top of the net.
The guy who needs to be tested is AK Haaland.
Dare I say he was too close. Another 2 yards deeper. Too much on he got.
And Pierluigi Golini breathes a big sigh of relief. Pierre Hanning plays.
Or you could be.
And
Yeah. Or he got dropped out of the entire team tonight.
quick thinking there from Shankland. Very confident of his ability to.
He's a good player.
Target from that sort of range. And that would have been something else for the Jambos to shout about. in that corner of the stadium.
He's got experience.
There's been lots of questions about recruitment as well, hasn't there, Rob? Bigger picture, players coming in. I was having a look at it today and thinking, who have Hearts signed that has made them better over the summer? Who's really improved them? Ron Shankman, possibly, but is he any better than Sims or Boyce? I don't know. So when you're losing games and things aren't going your way, everybody comes under scrutiny. And that will include Joe Savage and Robbie Nielsen.
One win and 3 defeats so far in the group for Hearts, Group A. And a pretty underwhelming start to the domestic season as well. Not just in terms of league results, but also going into the League Cup. Hearts would see themselves as a team that goes deep into the two National Cup competitions, but one is gone for them.
On the flip side of that, Rob, it gives them a free midweek next week. You know, when they're a squad down in numbers, you know, another game next midweek, followed by conference the following week, you think, how much can this team take? You're going back to the same players continually and ask them to churn out performances in 90 minutes. Tonight, certainly first half, physically, they were short.
Guards!
For the free kick.
Hearts are actually a fan-owned club.
Fiorentina had scored 5 goals in their previous 10 games.
We're the Hearts are the largest fan-owned club in the UK.
54 minutes tonight.
And their owner's called Ann Budge. Their owner is called Ann Budge.
For the home team, this is your Henderson.
No, she wants budging.
Get control of that. Desperate to make an impression off the bench.
Wow, she is a businesswoman and a company director.
There's an angry reaction from Venuti.
Yep.
He was struck with a ball when he was on the ground. Venuti not happy about it.
No, but the main thing is, if it wasn't for her, Hearts wouldn't be around today. They were seconds away from getting liquidated, and she came in and saved them.
I just wonder if the referee now trying to...
Because their old owner is Lithuanian, and he's basically an idiot. Because he put Hearts into the ground. Because he wouldn't buy any Scottish players. He wouldn't buy any other players other than Lithuanians to come to Hearts. So at one point, Hearts were playing a full team of Lithuanians. That shows how bad that manager went. Or the owner did. He would only buy players from his home country. Would never buy anyone else. And because of that, it wasn't. The money kept going downhill and downhill because they weren't selling players, and because who's wanting to buy a player from Lithuania? No one. So it's like his philosophy just went down the tube, and then that's put Hearts into debt, and then he went.
He will be disappointed. There were 5 goals flying in. He can't claim one of them. He did score at Tynecastle the second goal last week. Getting themselves into a really good position now, Fiorentina, after a sluggish start in Group A. 6 points out of 6. And 8 goals against Hearts. Apanara just couldn't quite get a touch on that as he burst through the middle. Down has gone Nicolas Gonzalez. They're booking for Connor Smith.
It's a late tackle, isn't it? I'm not sure I like this rule because they get two chances at it. You either stop the play and give the free kick initially, because the pass goes forward and Sapanara has a poor touch. So they get the ball back, have a free kick. For me, it's one or the other. You can always come back and book Connor Smith if you let play go.
God! We're going to back you even though you're getting battered.
That's Gonzalez. This is Cabral. And Venuti. Out of play.
Imagine when you speak to Robbie Nielsen after the game,
Not a bad team with not bad players. It's just AKA Lawrence Shankland shite.
half-time, you just wonder what's going to happen next. What can Robbie Nielsen say or do that can try and change the direction of this game, or at least stem the flow? Because Fiorentina were untouchable in the first half, or was that maybe just Hearts not being aggressive enough, not trusting themselves and conceding goals at poor times?
Wow, Arsenal won 1-0. Wow.
First half, 1-1.
Yeah, but they were they dominated that entire game and they could only score one.
And while the game was long gone for the Tynecastle team, they can at least take some pluses out of what's happened.
It's like Angus in completely different competition. They're in.
Pluses, but they need a win. You know,
Going on.
Aberdeen next. I think they've got Celtic the week after. So, big games coming up where they need to turn the tide. They need to swing the momentum back in their favour.
It's not that easy to get into Europe in Scottish football. It's not that easy.
Can they get some?
But at least we're not as worse as Motherwell and not as worse as Dundee United.
By Cabral, surely. And Cochrane.
The worst Scottish team in Europe this year is definitely Motherwell.
The 90th minute.
Motherwell are the worst. Because they lost to the Republic of Ireland side Sligo Rovers.
Down the line from Terzic. Civic looked as if he could have won that, but it's Sapanara having his shot pulled by Peter Haring.
We always talk about learning from mistakes. Rob, 2 minutes to go for Hearts. We're glad to see that come up. I think learning, experience. Hearts have to be harder to play against. In that first half, when the game is finally poised, it was too easy to break through.
Cabral against Haring. There's the back heel. And prodded away by.
Oh, it finished. Union St. Gallen 3, Braga 3. I wonder if they managed to get a point. I still don't get it.
On the back of the thumping they took from Lazio here on Monday night. It's Hearts who've been on the wrong end of a heavy defeat tonight at the Artemio Franchi.
Tell you what, the Hearts fans haven't stopped all night, Robert.
No.
Rob, you know, incredible. Our team are trailing.
Come on, Hearts. Let's even create another chance before the end of this game.
An absolute credit to their club.
What?
Scotland as well. They've travelled in big numbers. The atmosphere's been good around the city.
It was nothing there. That's why I got rid of it.
Bash actually hit a 1-3-0 in the other group game.
Boo! We don't like you Turkish kids.
Against RFS in Istanbul. So they move to 10 points. Fiorentina.
What?
Hearts remain on 3, RFS on 2.
What?
Just about 15 seconds left. Fans will feel they have suffered enough over the 90 minutes.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back.
Very nearly. It was Alessandro Bianco, the substitute.
Unlucky, lads. Well, unlucky. We got outplayed, but we give it your best try. That's all that matters.
It flashes wide. This has been painful enough for them. It's another bruising defeat in the Europa Conference League. They were so much better. Second half.
And then hopefully Chesterfield can go and get through to the next round of the FA Cup qualifiers by being Anthony Nomads. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream of Fiorentina 5, Hearts 1. At least we managed to actually score. We managed to score a goal. Like, subscribe, the notification will get to post, and I'll see you guys on Saturday for Anthony Nomads versus Chesterfield in the FA Cup qualifiers. And then straight after that, we are going to be doing England versus Samoa in the Rugby League World Cup. Rugby League World Cup. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification.